How much of this do you think is the light guide? How much is the uncertainty around the metrics that Twitter is giving about how to track their progress?
I think with Twitter, when it came public, everybody thought, oh my goodness, it's the next Facebook. We got to get on board. Then, oh my goodness, it's going out of business. It's terrible. Now it's okay. They actually do have a niche that they control that nobody else does, and that is news. But reflecting that, their audience is news addicts. It's people who want to check in all the time. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Given that, the daily average users is a much better metric than monthly. This isn't flyby. It's people who are actually addicted, want to find out what's going on. Twitter it's a very valuable platform. It's just that expectations got a little bit ahead of reality. News, unfortunately, is not the most monetizable commodity out there. Stock's trading at 8 times revenue. It's in a good place now, but I think expectations just got ahead of it.
Kevin, I think one of the most dangerous questions about competition that I often end up getting is who's going to be the number 3 player in X space or Y space. You know, we asked it in smartphones. It gets asked in online advertising. Who's the 3rd player after Google, Facebook? What if there is none? What if Twitter and Snap just keep kind of bouncing around and never have a long trajectory?
I think that's exactly the right scenario. I think what we've seen is Twitter is doing what it needed to do, which is clean up its numbers, clean up the experience for its users, which means getting rid of some of the online harassment, getting some of the bots out of the system. So the numbers, the monthly numbers is dipped, but that's actually a good thing. And what we've seen is that in 2018 is their first profitable year, and their advertising is rising. So to Henry's point, this is actually a good business. It's a smaller business than Facebook by magnitudes. I don't think we can expect that sort of growth. We saw a Snap come in earlier this week. They're kind of at a similar scale in terms of user base. The question I would have if I were an investor in Twitter on their board is there a way for them to get to the next level? Is there a way for them to grow? Is there a way for them to enter the really big leagues as a social network and an advertising platform? I don't think we know the answer to that. I don't think Jack Dorsey has shown that he knows the answer to that.
For a while, we thought it was going to be video. Is it not?
I don't know. You know, they have some traction with their video, but I don't think they've shown that they can actually get into the same place as YouTube, which kind of owns the news video area, or increasing competition in streaming from, name Netflix, Disney, and whoever else.
Well, you know a lot about that. Yeah. I mean, are there limits to engagement on video on Twitter?
The most important thing for engagement is that the daily average users continues to climb. That is great, and we actually do a lot of video with Twitter. It's a good platform for us, same as Snapchat. There's a specific kind of video that works extremely well there, and as long as they can keep growing engagement daily, that should continue to grow. There's a big opportunity.
What kind of video is it? Is it live? Is it short form?
No, not live. Some of it can be short form. It is often news related, or it's passion related around food or travel or what have you. But it's very good in feed.
Henry, how much are you looking at? Who is it that's using Twitter every day versus who's using Insta every day versus who's using Snap every day? How much does that matter to you?
It definitely matters, but I think it's self-selecting. You're not going to follow food unless you're actually into food, and it tends to be a certain kind of people. And so if you're going after that, it's the same folks who, watching the Food Network, are going to be advertising within that. Financial Twitter is huge. There's nothing like that. That's the financial community.
It also seems to me like Twitter is such a useful tool in pairing with live events. When you're watching the State of the Union and you're doing it with Twitter, you don't get that same experience on, I mean, I don't know if anybody on Snap is even watching the State of the Union.
No, that's totally right, and that's what I mean. That they have a niche. Nobody, if Twitter disappeared tomorrow, somebody would rush in and fill that because you need it, and they've got it, and that is valuable. And to Kevin's point, as long as they keep cleaning it up and making it a better experience, it's global, it can be very valuable.
And the thing that they've tried to do is through moments and basically changing how you see your feed is to try and make it a place where you just go to sort of graze the news, learn generally what's going on, as opposed to what they're really excellent at is when there is news going there and seeing what people have to say about it. They haven't actually, in my view, they haven't been successful in building the moments and all of that into...
Especially for young people.
Into the scale of what it could be. And so that's, if I were Jack Dorsey, I would look at that as a continued opportunity. People go there instead of going to Yahoo or another kind of general news portal to sort of skim what's happening.
Henry, our theme I'm seeing in this cloud and streaming quarter maybe is costs. Whether you're looking at Google's costs, Twitter talking about increasing costs, Facebook talking about their costs of policing the platform. How much is that theme becoming clearer, that it's more expensive to continue growing some of these platforms than investors might have expected?
Definitely, and it's showing you that the biggest platforms have this advantage of scale, which is they can spend more on content. All the platforms started what you might describe as user-generated content. More and more, they're getting professionalized. You're seeing this with YouTube, you're seeing it with Facebook. And to do that, you need a bigger and bigger content budget. And what's interesting is if you look at the development of the cable industry, it's exactly the same. First thing you did was build the pipes, distribution, and then all of this professional content started to get built on top of it. And that's what's happening with the soft crumbling distribution in the internet. Not crumbling yet. Cable is still a great business. Taking a long time.
Kevin, quickly?
Yeah, I think what we're also seeing is that they're incurring some costs to actually clean up their platforms, to improve the experience for users. I think Facebook in particular needs to feel more pain for users in terms of the cost, in terms of taking a hit on targeting, maybe making their advertising less lucrative for people to come around and feel like it's a better experience.